Chernobyl reactor 4 is now a nuclear bomb.
Back in time to the day of 26 April 1886 in Ukraine, Chernobyl is a factory.
During a night shift, the vice president came and ordered them to conduct safety tests for the reactor immediately.
They immediately started taking the necessary measures.
That was the first time they had taken this test. He failed every time.
But the matter was dangerous, and despite that, the vice president ordered them to do so.
Reactor power suddenly dropped to 1%, and the most appropriate solution was to rise it slowly.
But the vice president ordered them to rise it directly, which led its abnormal rise reaching 200. This really terrified this worker, as they didn't understand the reason for this sudden inquiry.
This nuclear reactor works on nuclear energy.
Therefore, its principle is based on
Nuclear reactions that happen inside the reactor.
heat is generated and cooled using heavy water that evaporates into the steam tank. We turn the turbine that runs the generator and produces electrical energy.
During the reaction, a new element is produced, xenon, which does not constitute an obstacle as it burns quickly. But here was the mistake.
Where workers reduced the working capacity of the reactor and thus no heat was produced, the xenon did not burn and accumulated inside the reactor, which put pressure on it.
In addition, the edges of the rods were made of graphite instead of boron, and graphite increases the reaction. So because of all pressure, the reactor core cover flew up and exploded, and a fire broke out.
These men were quickly transferred to the hospital, and when the doctor diagnosed them, they realized that radiation was attached to their clothes, so they removed them and placed them to the hospital basement.
URSS have shared about this disaster and tried to save its remaining. In fact, they have reserved helicopters to throw the sand on top of the nuclear reactor to counter these radiations. But most of these helicopters have fell down due to these reactions.
This state found only one solution, which was to sacrifice a group of people in exchange for give them money to their families to clean up that radiation themselves.
The state also ordered the killing of all red animals, so that they wouldn't transmit radiation.
The deaths immediately after the accident reached 31 people. But after a long time from the accident, the number cannot be counted. But the known is there are more than 20,000 people died from cancer. And we all know that's because of the radiations. city is devoid of residents because of the radioactive contamination, which will last more than 100 years.
But tourists are allowed to visit it with an official license.
By doing so, they risk their safety in the future. Who knows what radiation might cause to their body?